I just remember being a kid and hanging out, playing in the big leaf piles, you know, just laying in the leaves in the fall. I definitely do. It's a fond memory. Anyway, this is going to be a really quick video, but I wanted to talk about some well, I don't know how creative this is, but some ways to try to get leaf bags if you live in a rural area. So there's a lot of reasons you may want to use leaf bags. I've made some videos on this before. There's a lot of other great videos out there on the internet if you're looking for inspiration about what you can do with the leaves in the leaf bags. But I know a lot of you already know that you want leaf bags. They can be hard to get if you're in a rural area. If we look around here, I've got quite a few leaves on the ground. Some of these came from raking and leaf blowing from the forests around here. You know, we are swimming in leaves if you're willing to do the collection labor. But I also brought a lot of leaf bags in from a recent trip into town. I'm gonna give you the context here, and I'm just gonna warn you, this is nothing groundbreaking or revolutionary. A lot of you who live in rural areas are gonna be like, duh, that's called rural life. That's how you have to do things. But I'm just gonna talk about it briefly, like I said. The basic gist is that I'm in an area where I can't just drive around the suburbs near me to get leaf bags because there aren't any. I'm not in a terribly isolated place. It's just that there's no leaf bag pickup here. And I find when you live in a place like this, there are times where, for various reasons, you may have a doctor's appointment, you may have to go to a special store for some reason, or, you know, meet up with somebody who's in a slightly more populated area. For me, one of the close by places is Roanoke. I recently had to go to a dentist appointment in Roanoke, and I decided to take 15 extra minutes, drive through one of the suburbs on the way home in Roanoke, and there was a ton of leaves. Ton of leaf bags were out, and so it took no time at all to load up my truck, and I just realized, wow, like, you know, a lot of these municipalities, they will post when their leaf bag pickup season is. And so if you have to make errands to more populated areas during leaf bag pickup time, try to plan in an extra 10, 15 minutes and just do a little driving around. It's pretty easy to get the leaves and bring home a truckload. You know, it's not as easy as if you're within driving distance of these neighborhoods that have leaf bags, but they're accessible. And so, like I said, this one's pretty quick. I basically just wanted to talk about that whole trying to coordinate. Like, there are times when you do have to go to places where there are leaf bags, even if you live far away from these places and don't go very often. I'm looking to get more leaves. As you can see, there's quite a lot of exposed pot here. I want to get all these tucked in much better before we get harder freezes. You know, the top few inches have froze, but you can dig down and there is thawed material not too far down. You can see the top inch or so is certainly frozen. That's okay, but I really need to get all these pots looking more like this, where they're almost entirely blanketed with leaves or wood chips or some sort of mulch for all these plants to be happy and really survive well throughout the winter here. Just in trying to be fully transparent with you guys, you know, I moved from North Carolina to Virginia this year, moved the whole nursery in the spring, as a lot of you followed along when I made videos of that. It's warmer down in North Carolina. There's less of a need. First of all, it's closer to leaf bags, but there's also less of a need to insulate in winter. It's a little bit colder. A lot of you folks up north have it even colder than where I'm at down here. So it's a little bit navigating new challenges. Using old techniques of grabbing leaves, you can see how many I jammed into this pot here, you know. This is really good, insulating all these red buds. You can see how far down the leaves go until we hit the mulch and the soil. Anyway, that's just some quick thoughts. Like I said, on getting leaf bags in a rural place. For me, it's valuable for the nursery. You may want them for gardening. You may want them for animal bedding or compost. Leaves are an amazing, amazing resource, and while I would rather that most of us left the leaves in place, because that's better for the environment, if people are going to bag them up and ship them away, I'd like to make use of them.